My name's Dave Dubeau, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey gang, welcome back. Today we got another great guest, Jeff Potter, zooming in. Jeff does a lot when it comes to real estate investing. He is an investor himself. He's a developer. He's a consultant, and he does something that I haven't interviewed anybody about in over 1,200 episodes, and that is he is an expert witness for real estate cases. So Jeff, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Hey, thank you, Dave. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to this.
So Jeff, give us, we're in the middle of the year 2025 right now. You're doing a lot of different things. So I kind of touched on it, but can you just give us like a big picture overview of what you're up to in the real estate space these days?
Well, as you know, the real estate space is pretty squirrely, especially in Southern California. If you're in the office market and you have those assets, there's some real suffering right now. What seems to be pretty hot is still residential. We're working in Central California on two projects. One, a workforce housing project for sale, and the second is an adaptive reuse of a shopping center.
Cool. So what are you adapting the shopping center towards?
We're going to convert it to warehouse, and we have a tenant that's currently one of our tenants, and we're going to work with them.
So the whole shopping center is going to become a big
Well, what happens, Dave, is we take the shopping center where there was 6 parking spots per 1,000. Now we only need 1 to 1.5 per 1,000, and the remaining balance we're going to turn into housing, that big ball of parking.
Okay, cool. Very, very cool. And so that's the kind of the development side of things. You said there's one that you're building to sell as well. What
we're going to do for sale housing, and right now we're working with the municipality because the construction costs don't work. It's very expensive to build, and there is a cap on what people can afford, and we're working with the municipality to try to make some affordable housing on a for sale basis, entry-level homes.
Which it's all in the eye of the beholder. So California and what affordable housing means in your state might be a little bit different than the middle of Nebraska.
In this particular spot, it's about $500 a square foot, so around $600,000 is entry level.
Wow. I was interviewing a guy a while ago in California. He was talking about doing $1 million mobile home makeovers.
Yeah. I'm a partner in manufactured housing, mobile home parks, and they're doing very well because ours are truly affordable housing.
Yeah, no, okay. So that's kind of what you're up to in the development side of things. You're also very active in consulting. What do you consult people on?
For instance, I have a potential case, and it's all about the zoning and zoning issues and CEQA and how can you get there's litigation between buyers and sellers and multiple property owners, and how do you make harmony out of that? And that's a long process in California. It's not easy anymore. I don't think any place is easy, but California is very arduous, and there's a lot of process to the entitlements. And although they want housing, and the governor of California is mandating housing, and the municipalities have to provide it, it's not easy.
Is it a whole bunch of not my backyard type stuff, or what's going on?
Well, not only that in my backyard, but since the fires, the Eaton fire in the Pacific Palisades, as well as Altadena, I was there 2 weeks ago on a Sunday touring and taking videos for a couple hours. One of the benefits that I hope comes out of it is what's called the ADU. Additional dwelling units, and that people will add an ADU on the back of their property, or instead of building a single family residential with a big backyard or what's deemed to be a backyard, they add additional units to drive not only income, but to support our housing requirement.
Yeah, because it's just going crazy these days, isn't it? I mean, not just California, but lots of places. There's just such a shortage, and prices have just skyrocketed, inflation, the whole bit. It's challenging days.
Yes, and in Southern California, because of the stock that was diminished through the fires, it's truly cataclysmic. regardless of the pricing, I mean, I personally believe it's going to take 6 to 9 years to rebuild after these
Wow.
fires. I think it's analogous to the Paradise Fire in Northern California. Although the municipalities and the governor and the mayor of Los Angeles says, hey, we'll expedite this process. It's not. There's some older stock, and there's environmental issues that need to be dealt with, and I think that's a big concern.
How much stock was lost? I mean, we hear stuff in the news, but I don't know what the truth of the matter is. Approximately how many homes went
13
up?
to 15,000 structures.
Wow.
It's an enormous amount. I have, through a relationship at a club I belong to, at least 500 families that lost their homes. Yeah.
That
And
is
then they
crazy.
have to find a place to live in the interim. And do they rebuild? Or Dave, do they say, we're done, we don't want to go through this process, it's too painful for us, we're going to move somewhere else? And then they're fighting with the insurance companies as well, their valuation versus what the insurance companies want to pay.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. So let's take a little dive into the whole expert witness thing, Jeff, because that's something interesting to me. So, question number one: how did you stumble into that? How did you get invited to become an expert witness? And then, what does it look like these days? How, like, more or less, how often are you getting called up, and what are you being a witness about, and who are you helping? Like, who's your client?
So thank you for asking. I got my first case 2 years ago through a friend from USC, one of my friends and colleagues, and he's a forensic accountant. This accounting process had a real estate component. They needed an expert witness. I gave them my CV. I was hired on it. It was a dispute between a tenant and a landlord over the common area maintenance charges, CAMs, and a dispute over the lease and whether the tenant should pay it one time or whether they should pay it through the course of their entire 5-year lease. The tenant lost, and they did have to.
I'm assuming this was a commercial thing.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
It is a commercial. So that's one example. I finished another case recently, very large business park, the dispute between the seller, pension fund advisor, and a very large developer over the earnest money deposit. And they were disputing on who should receive that return of or not of the earnest money deposit, which also included an entitlement process and were best efforts used, and if so, on what basis. So the cases are really interesting for me after doing this for decades and decades and decades. And they're kind of like watching a small movie for a period of time, and you pull out of your back of your memory and say, I did a project like this. I understand these issues. And the rest is my firsthand percipient knowledge and my education.
So when you're called in on a case, typically how long, everything's different, but how long are you like required? How long do you need to be involved in a case typically?
That's another great question. I'm usually given a synopsis of the case. I'm usually given a copy of the complaint. If there's a counter complaint, I receive that. I go through and analyze both of those. I have a one-on-one with the client. We talk about it. We find out what the client's budget is. I have a team that supports me behind the scenes and helps me with part of the pick and shovel work and organizational. And then I review it all very carefully. But they may say, Jeff, we're at a point we're going to go to trial. We need to prepare and do these 14 things. And this is my budget of how much I want to spend. Can you do that? And I tell them yes, or I tell them no. And I also give them my opinion on two things. One is what I believe their solution might be. And that's real important because I say, if you consider this and this, although I'm not an attorney, you might have a way of resolving this case without going to trial. And everybody really wants to do that, Dave. So
nobody
I've
likes to
had
go.
cases that went on for a year and a half, and I've
Wow.
had cases that have gone on for literally weeks and either got settled or they run out of money or things of that nature.
But you're not like the year and a half one, you're not working on that case for a year and a half. You're getting called in from time to time to consult on stuff, I
Exactly.
would imagine. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. But
Like
I
have
designated as the expert witness. And so I'm always prepared. It's an active file.
interesting. So it's almost, yeah, you're an expert witness and a consultant kind of the same time.
I don't think so because
No?
you have to get qualified to be an expert witness. And I've been qualified to be the expert witness. You
No,
know,
I mean for your clients, I mean for the clients in the case, you're basically consulting with them as well.
yes,
Yeah.
a lot of attorneys are not aware of the nomenclature and the process for real estate development, real estate finance, even partnerships. I had a case with a Chinese woman that only spoke Chinese, only read Chinese, that invested funds with a developer in Orange County, California. And the developer stole the funds, but there was a bank involved in it. And there was a process for each draw with a bank, go to the developer, what he was building, saying, bank, I framed it, so I want 20% of the construction loan drawn out. And the fund control process was not appropriate and funds were moved around. Well, the attorney didn't know that. And I said, well,
Mm.
here's where you go on the accounting. This is what was submitted and this is what was paid and this is how they look. And he goes, oh, thanks for pointing that out. So they can be very complicated.
Yeah, I would imagine. No, I'm starting to understand the demand for an expert witness like yourself and the value of having somebody with a couple of years experience under their belt doing a variety of different things. No,
I've earned
that's
my
very,
gray
very cool.
hair. I've earned my gray hair, Dave.
So, so Jeff, what like how does your business kind of work these days? What percentage of your time do you focus on the development side? What percentage would you say is on the consulting side? Where do things kind of wash for you?
Well, I'm probably 20% development and 80% doing consulting and enjoying the outdoors, riding horses, fly fishing, and hanging out with my Los Caballeros buddies. Um, I'm having a really good time because I chose this life and I chose this pattern of what I wanted to do at this spot in my life. And I have really good clients. I have some really great friendships that have helped me expand my business where I see them socially. They say, hey, Jeff, we have this real estate case. Can we talk to you about it confidentially? Which I always say, of course. And I even try to give them a solution, square one, where I don't even get a job. But that
Mhm.
usually leads to some business because I'm so forthcoming with solutions.
No, that's a smart way to do it, Jeff. No, and it sounds like you got things set up so that you're as busy as you want to be.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the actual real estate investing and development side of things, you're mentioning in some of the information you sent ahead of time that these days you especially kind of are attracted to things with a bit of a social twist to them. So tell me a little bit about what that looks like, what that means to you.
Well, we really want to do something socially redeeming. We want to have fun. We want to do something, a project that's socially redeeming, and we want to make a profit. Our current project that we have in Central California, we're struggling with the entrepreneurial portion of the profit. We just don't see any money in it. However, we want to provide this housing and we have the wherewithal to continue work on this. And because of that, we're going to go to the county and say, hey, look, let's make this your project. Provide housing, it's needed. And we're willing to show you all the numbers which we've given them. And let's work together on this
Mhm.
and provide more housing. And, municipalities don't hear that much anymore. So it's
Yeah.
not all about the dollar, it's about doing the right thing. And
Mhm.
it could take a lot of your time, but if you do the right thing, it comes back somewhere else.
So where do you see things going with your development business over the next couple of years?
Really slowing down
Yeah.
intentionally. Yeah,
Yeah.
I um, I think there's going to be some real adjustment in commercial real estate, depending on the submarket you're in. and
Mhm.
especially the return on costs that you want to receive with the cost of capital right now and the cost of capital stack for debt and equity.
Mhm.
Uh, I see that certain asset classes like industrial in Southern California, that was the darling of the commercial real estate investing community, is starting to have a higher vacancy rate. Absorptions have slowed down. Expansion and even overdevelopment in certain submarkets. I'm going to go to the sidelines. I'm going to really focus on my expert witness practice and horseback riding and fly fishing because I'm really a part-time cowboy.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun for sure.
It
So
is.
how do you build that expert witness business, and what kind of demand is there for those services now that you got a couple of years in?
There is demand.
Yeah.
Most of these cases settle before the
Mm.
expert witness actually has to go to court. Um, we have a full team. I have a full team that works for me, Van and Don and Mohammed and Rebel, and they do all the social media on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, and every day or at least 5 times a week, we're posting content and we get comments on it. It's a way for me to educate the
Mhm.
public, and I really like to do that. And my next set of contents I'm going to be providing is from Professor Anthony Orlando at Cal State Pomona. He gave me his approval to go through 6 or 7 of his classes, and they're going to be on real estate finance. And it's educational. I really enjoy that process, giving back, and I love mentoring. Mentoring is paramount to me.
Nice. So Jeff, if people want to get a hold of you and hopefully find you when you're not out horseback riding or fly fishing, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
For sure, I would look on LinkedIn. My name's spelled Jeffery, Jeffrey Potter, and you will see H&M Investment Advisors and PotterExpertWitness.com. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn. We're very active there, posting content.
Awesome. Jeff, well, hey, it's been a lot of fun meeting you. Thank you very much for kind of opening my eyes to the whole expert witness side of things in real estate. That's very, very cool. And congratulations on your success. And hey, happy fishing.
Thank you, Dave. Cheers.
All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.